but it's how the traditional ones related back to the digital ones. Can you give me a little insight on that,
Yeah,
Zach?
well, I mean, we really pride ourselves on being the fastest growing sports entertainment and media company in North America. I think we're best known for our team brands, obviously, in the Washington Capitals, the Wizards, but we have several other teams too. The WNBA Mystics, we've got 2 Arena Football League teams in the Valor and the Baltimore Brigade. We're launching a G League team. We operate 2 minor league hockey teams. We've made big investments into esports and teams like Team Liquid, and we're launching an NBA 2K League team. And across all of those audience subsegments, they all have different needs, and all those specific audiences have really different preferred consumption habits, right? And so I would say that our evolution into creating an ecosystem where linear cable and OTT, a direct-to-consumer platform, and Monumental Sports Network lived in harmony was sort of a natural evolution for us. I think that when we were doing some of our due diligence for our regional sports network deal with NBC Sports Washington, we had the opportunity to obtain a significant minority equity interest, and we wanted to know, well, what does that get us? This is very important to our enterprise model and to the future of our business. These are long-term deals in length, and so for a long-term deal, you don't want to whiff. You don't want to have an opportunity where, 10 years down the line, you look back and go, oh my gosh, we blocked access to our content to a lot of people. And I think that a lot of people talk about cable subscriptions declining. There's a lot of press and editorial about ESPN bleeding subs. Still, on a market-by-market basis, the regional sports network is consistently the #1 highest rated network in each DMA. But the iceberg is melting, and we can't ignore that. We don't want to be putting our heads in the sand. And so launching a sister network that was purely on digital, that's really better equipped to stream new live event series like esports that capture the attention of younger fans, what I really call the next generation of fan, who maybe aren't as interested in traditional sports the way maybe you and I are.
Right, and it's such an interesting time because we don't know where it's going. You have all these regional networks, all these different platforms that people are digesting, and they're all trying to integrate with one another. One quick question, because a lot of people, coming from technology myself, OTT, over the top. Can you explain to the audience what that means? Because people are afraid to ask, right?
Good question. I'm glad you asked that because we just throw that term out, and there are probably a lot of people who go, well, sure, I've heard of that, but what does it really mean? So it's a good question. I'm glad you asked. OTT means over the top or over the top of a cable system. You're bypassing a traditional model where you're a network carried within a cable bundle distributed by a company like Time Warner or Comcast Xfinity or Verizon Fios, and you're going direct to the customer. Twitter, even though it's not a subscription service, is a DTC, a direct-to-consumer service. Donald Trump, our president, goes direct to his base when he tweets, whether we like it or not.
No comments. We're not going there, are we?
Our service goes direct-to-consumer, and we felt like that was incredibly important for us, right? Traditional networks don't know their customer base. They're disintermediated, and cable companies literally can't hand that information off to networks. And so when networks face churn, there's really no way for them to win those customers back. That's a really scary reality. In our region, we've got about 7.5 million people between Richmond and Baltimore, and that population is expected to grow to about 14 or 15 million people. Cable subscriptions could potentially be cut in half in the next 10 years or so. And so we just feel like we had this opportunity to reach this kind of growing fan base. And if we didn't do it, we would never have a touch point with these new fans. Our building is sold out for the Capitals. We're just about sold out for the Wizards. And if you can't get in the building and you don't have a subscription to cable, oh my gosh, we could have this big problem where we can't reach you. And we can't engender fandom for our teams. So.